Welcome to the Lay and Your Bet Sports Betting Show. Looking at the NBA on Sunday here. Got 5 games to choose from. I've already got 3 bets down on the card, so I want to go through those with you. Look at a few of the leans that I have as well, as we still wait for some of these lines to come out here Saturday night as I'm recording this for you guys. Also want to run through the card on Saturday. Another nice day, another winning day, more than a unit up. We'll take a look at how we did and the bets that we didn't win so that we can just get a little bit of a review in there and give you guys a chance to jump into the VIP. I also want to do a quick giveaway in the comments. So we're giving away $100. Jump in the comments. Let me know who's going to be the high scorer on the day here. Out of all 5 games in the NBA on Sunday, who do you think is going to end the day with the most points? Get that right, and I'll throw you in the raffle to win that $100. So if only one person gets it right, they get the 100. If 3 get it, you've got a 1 in 3 shot of getting the $100. So go ahead and drop that into the comments. Give this video a like. Let's get right into it. Another day of making money here in the NBA, so we are grateful to be up 1.1 units there on the 6-4 record. Now up nearly 60 units, 59.7. Feeling good. I'm going to give you guys here a chance to jump in for a little discount. Got a few more codes left that I'll throw your way, but we do like to see these 6 W's right here. Walker Kessler, we stayed away from the points. Feel just as good about that as I do taking the rebounds because we did make money on the man. John Collins keeps getting disrespected at a 14.5 point line, so we'll keep taking an over. I would have taken this up to like 17.5. So we'll see if we can get this still at like 15.5 the next time we get John Collins props. Christian Brown had one of the games of his life in that Denver and Charlotte game. Feeling great about his stuff whenever Russ is out, and the fact that Aaron Gordon still is not quite Aaron Gordon. But we'll keep coming back to Christian Brown stuff. Mark Williams, 2.5 dimes. Thanks to Daft for throwing that my way. Loved the Mark Williams look without any other playmakers. He got that one at the beginning of the 4th quarter. And then Hartenstein had a great game. We had Jalen Williams out. Kings got worked by the Thunder in this one, and Hartenstein had a lot to do with that. Played really, really well. Got did get the double, but got the 25.5 PR with room to spare there in that big win for the Thunder. And then Josh Hart not only had the double, I should say, he had the triple-double, and I just had another feeling with him when he's playing against the Lakers. They really were dismissive of him the way they let him go, and then he became a journeyman, and then he ended up on the Knicks, where he's now had, I forget, like 9 triple-doubles or 11 or something like that since he's joined the Knicks, and didn't have any in his career before he got there. So we'll keep banging on these Josh Hart props because that man is a workhorse, and we appreciate him for it. Unlike his teammate Kat, who forgot that they had a fucking basketball game on Saturday and just didn't show up at all. To be fair, JJ Redick had a game plan for him, knowing that he was going to have Jackson Hayes to deal with him. So he had a lot more in his book. They double teamed Kat on almost every play. Wish I would have thought of that. I thought about his assist, but it wouldn't even mattered. He got into a bit of foul trouble. Wasn't his game. Amon Thompson also forgot. I mean, he was on the back of a milk carton, bro. I don't know where Amon Thompson was. I don't think Amon Thompson knew where Amon Thompson was. So that was a miss there for Amon on the points, and he played all right in the boards, but they lost to the Nets. So ugly game for Houston. I'm sure that Ime Udoka is pissed. And then the 2 Wolves, I know Chris Finch, their head coach, is pissed. He didn't even play these guys towards the end of the game because they were sucking, and then they lost to the Wizards. And weird shit happens on Saturdays. I like to remind people of that like big time upsets often happen on these weird days where people wish they were at home rather than playing on the road versus the freaking Wizards, worst team in the league. So good win for the Wiz. Terrible game for the Timberwolves there without Ant. So we'll see what happens to them moving forward if Chris Finch doesn't just completely make them run for the rest of the night. But that is a nice record. 59.7 is what we care about here. It's a 55% record, basically win rate essentially, but we are looking at 60 units up on the season. That's all we care about is making money. So if you do want to jump into the VIP, use code heating up. I've got 4 left. I added about 15 of them this morning after another nice night last night. Rolling it right over into today. So we've got about 4 of those codes left if you want to get 50% off your first month in the VIP. Just a quick look at what we do there. Yes, you get the expert picks and analysis and access to the VIP cappers with some really good looks. I'm really proud to say we've got some smart and sharp people in there helping out with these sports betting picks. And then one-on-one betting consultations. If you do want to have a little bit of a meeting, I've got bi-monthly availability. We've got a little link in the VIP Discord there. So you guys can jump in, sign up for some time with me, help understand how we do what we do, and get some of these good betting habits and strategies that I am able to offer you guys. So hope to see you guys in the VIP. Let's get into what we have here for Sunday. As always, using props madness here throughout the show and on the live show that we have throughout the week. But if you do want to get in on props madness, use code LYB when you sign up. You can also get a free week trial using the code to see if you like it for yourself before you officially jump in. And then you will get 25% off your first month by using that code. And feel free to drop me any questions in the comments as well of the video if you'd like to know how to use this tool. All the tools that I'm using are also linked in the description of the video. Clippers are in Toronto, which means that Kawhi Leonard is in Toronto, and we've got to take some Kawhi Leonard stuff, right? These bets are starting to crawl out here from these books. I already bet Kawhi Leonard over on the points. I think, is going to be Kawhi Leonard day, and not just because they're playing Toronto. Norm Powell is out, right? Norm Powell's not going to be in there. So at first, my first look for Kawhi was like actually on the boards. I was like, man, 4.5 on the rebounds. That's low for Kawhi. And I think his minutes limit is going to continue to rise. Well, even since he's been back and his minutes limit has been pretty intact, he's still gone over this in all of the games he's played 25 plus minutes so far this season. The last 3, he played 28, 29, and 28. He's getting 28 minutes now. That's around what his minutes limit is. But in a game in Toronto on the road versus a team that actually is playing pretty well for the Raptors right now, you're going to need Kawhi out there for 28 to 32 minutes. You don't have Norm Powell, who's your second leading scorer, second leading ball handler. This is going to be the man with the ball in his hands, with the option to do what he wants in a good spot against a team that is bad limiting power forwards in general. They are giving up the 6th most rebounds to power forwards. They're also giving up like the 10th most points per game to the power forward position. And in part, like Scotty's not going to be, he's a good defender. We'll see if they put him on Kawhi. I imagine that will be the matchup. I really don't care. I think Kawhi is going to be able to handle that and get his, especially on the board. So I took him over 4.5 rebounds, minus 115 on Bet365. I also took him over 18.5 points, minus 115 on Bet365. I just don't see how this number is not higher than 18.5. And I would take this up to 19.5. Like, I think he's good for 20 points in this game. And I think he's probably good for like 8 rebounds in this game. I have him projected to play 30 minutes on the dot, about 30 minutes, 21 points, and 6 or 7 boards. That's what I have, like 6.5 is essentially the projection that I have according to the numbers that he has on the season and the way that he's played so far when he's out there with guys like James Harden and Zubac, but when he's not, when Norm Powell is off the floor, he's getting a little bit more usage when Norm goes to the bench in the first quarter, and we see Kawhi get a few more shots up. So love the points, love the rebounds, going to be backing him on both of these games in his return back to Toronto. Don't have a bet in this one, but at least wanted to mention that I'm eyeing Cade Cunningham assists. This is now down to minus 110. I'm going to see what the market does here. There's a likelihood that we can get this at 8.5 for the dimes here for Cade Cunningham. I love that look against the Bulls. We know we always want to attack the assists. Now, I will say, Cade has been going off on the points. If you look at his recent numbers here, bunch of 30-point games, not very many where he goes under 20 at all on the season. So he is going to keep taking the shots, but he's coming off a 40-burger against the Mavericks where he took 30 shots in that game, and that's higher than he's taken in the last like 15 games or so. He hasn't taken 30 in a while. Was on it, was feeling it, crushed that team, looked really, really good. Could have the ability to do that against the Bulls. So if you go down and look at their play type defense, right, you can see Cade Cunningham is scoring most of his points off of the pick and roll, and they are 5th worst, right, limiting points to the pick and roll ball handler. They are 11th against the spot up. So some of the play type stuff indicates that maybe you want to take Cade on the points. I'm just really eyeing these assists and seeing if they get down to 8.5 because he's at 9 on the season. I would love to get 8.5 against a team that is giving up the 2nd most assists on the season, the most assists to point guards on the season. And he did get this earlier in the year against them on 10 of them, 10 on 19 potential assists. And that was in a 10-point loss. He played 36 minutes in that game. I actually really just prefer the dimes. Like I said, if you wanted to add the boards, I'm actually not suggesting that. I know the rebounds for Cade are usually a good look, but if you look at him as of late, since Ausar Thompson came into the lineup, the rebounds are not a good look for Cade. I would consider even an under on 6.5 rebounds. We'll see if we can get a decent number on it, but there's no way that I'm taking him over 6.5 boards when he's averaging about 4.5 per game when he plays with Ausar Thompson and with Jalen Duren out there. Before we get to the other bet on my card here, I do want to look at the Grizzlies and the Bucks because I'm very close to firing on a couple of these. Let's see what happens with Ja Morant. He is doubtful for this game, so we got to see what happens with him, but we got some opportunities for a couple guys. The first one is going to be our boy Lukey Luke. I can't believe we're still getting 11.5. I suppose Ja is listed as doubtful. He's not yet out as I'm recording this, so there is the possibility that he plays, in which case this would go down. So I get that for Luke Kennard. But man, this has been clear from the coaching staff now for the last 3 weeks of the season. But Ja is out. Luke Kennard jumps into the starting lineup, and his usage goes up a ton. So first, let's just look at the last couple games here without Ja Morant for Luke Kennard. You can see since basically the end of December, he's gone over in, 2, 3, 7, right? So 6 of 7, essentially, without Ja in his last 7 games. That's dating back to the end of December. In those games, the minutes started to go up. So 27, 29, 32, 24, 26, 27, 33. He's at least like 27 minutes, averaging about 29 minutes per game in these last bunch of games without Ja Morant. I don't see how Ja plays with this doubtful tag, but Memphis has been weird with their injury report. So we do want to see about that. So this is not yet on my card, but man, I'm very, very close to hitting it. And I just want it to come out on a few other books so people in the VIP will have access to it more than just those who only play on Bet365. That is a part of why I haven't bet this yet myself. Just keep that in mind. The other thing about Luke Kennard is just the ball's in his hands, right? If you do want to take the assists, another good situation for Dimes, although the Bucks this season are 9th best limiting assists. So that's why I'm eyeing the points more than the Dimes. Desmond Bane has also taken a massive upward role in the playmaking here without Ja Morant. Obviously, look at some of these crazy good assist numbers. Once again, not the best matchup for getting assists against the Bucks because they are a little bit better defending spot up stuff versus defending guys who are able to pull up like Desmond Bane, but also like Luke Kennard. And that's why I like Luke's points. He's taken a lot of shots off the pull up. He has the second most touches on the team when Ja Morant is out, second only to Desmond Bane. And that's been the case since basically the Spurs game here when he really was inserted as the point guard and not just an off-ball guard. So we're definitely going to be looking at Luke Kennard props, probably going to be playing those here and delivering those to the VIP. The other one is going to be Santi Aldama, who I also love. Not only is he getting 14 points a game without Ja Morant, and we have him on the points at 11.5. The reason this is a strong lean for me too is we see Santi Aldama play a lot more minutes when they're going up against a really big squad like this Bucks team, right? We know that Brolo, Brook Lopez, and Chris Middleton, Giannis, and Dame are going to play a ton. So that's a really big lineup just with Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, and Giannis out there, all able to sort of shoot, and all of them, well, except for Giannis, although his mid-range shot is okay, but all three of them able to like really have height advantages on the opposition. That's where Santi Aldama comes in and does really well. So not only is he crushing with Ja out this season, where he's over an 8 of 14 on this points prop, averaging 14 a game, nice little bit of wiggle room there. You can also see if I take Ja out, if I go over to my advanced filters and see, I want to know how he does against teams who are really big. And so one way I can verify that is going, all right, how does he do against teams that are really good limiting points in the paint? So if I take this to about the top like 10 to 11 teams limiting points in the paint on the season, you can see his numbers, let me go top 10. His numbers up a little bit, but there is a little bit more something to the idea that his minutes go up as well. Other than against the Timberwolves, who he never has done well against. Clippers, big team, up 31 minutes, 25 minutes, 29, 23. So we get his minutes up to about 23, 25 minutes at a floor of that when he plays against these teams that are good limiting the paint, where he's able to stretch out the defense because he's a very big guy with a 3-point shot. And that's the key here, is that he's going to pull guys like Brook Lopez from the rim when he's out there. So that'll open up lanes for guys to drive. And that's why you want Santi Aldama out there for the minutes. And if he's out there for the minutes taking the shots, then we love his ability to get over 11.5 points in this game. So that's the other strong lean I have. But let's get to that final bet. Going over to Mavs at Cavs, and go ahead and give that video a like still if you have not yet done so. Looking at this one, I am on Donnie Mitchell, and I'm looking at the assists. And it should be noted, everybody and their mom is questionable right now for the Dallas Mavericks. PJ Washington is questionable. Kyrie is questionable. Daniel Gafford is questionable. Three of the top three key players for this team against the Cavs, they're questionable. And I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if they just punt this thing. But I couldn't get away from the incredible juice that we got for Donnie's assists in this game. Obviously, the hit rate as of late has been awesome. And he's almost always good for 4 on the season. We'll see that. He's up to about 4.7 per game on the season. And in these last 5, 7 potentials, 8, 13, 11, 11. So a bunch of games, and then 8 over here, 9 and 10. So anywhere from like 8 to 11 on the potential assists. For him to get 5 dimes on that good of potential assists, especially if Gafford is out and he's able to get lobs up to Jared Allen and Evan Mobley as he drives into the lane, then man, like this should be something he gets by halftime, if we're being honest. The Mavs are also a team who do limit the spot up, or excuse me, they allow the spot up a bit more as they pressure the ball handler. So this is good for him to find shooters out on the wings. And then I just wanted to show you as well the recent numbers for guards that are like his player type, according to Props Madness. SGA just had 7. Donnie had 6 the last game, and that was on 10 potential assists as well. Then 9 for Garland in the same game, 6 for Fox, 5 for SGA, 7 for Brunson, 8 for SGA, 12 for Booker, 5 for Booker. So although it says 5 of 9 guys went over their individual assist prop, all of them got 5. right? And I do think Donnie's going to be good for another about 9 to 10 potential assists. And that's why for plus money on Bet365 at plus 115, I had to get this on the card immediately. And there were at least enough books that were holding a Donnie Mitchell assist line that I could assume that other people in the VIP section of the Discord could get that bet down. So I wanted to make sure I made that clear to everybody. Donnie Mitchell is the other bet on my card for now, even though I will obviously be adding it for those in the VIP here come Sunday morning and early afternoon. All right, one more reminder, if you do want to jump into the VIP, 50% off. You can get that using Heating Up as the code when you sign up there on WAP.com. So hope to see you guys in there. A lot of good stuff in there. Like I said, start next week. Also going to have access to my calendar so you can get these one-on-one sports betting consultations. I can help you out with trimming some of those bad habits and acquiring some good ones to help you keep winning money long-term and stop having to reach around for that wallet and keep adding to the account, which we all know is frustrating, right? So hope everybody has a great Sunday. Best of luck on all those plays. And until I see y'all next, happy betting.